Hey y'all, welcome to Gardenary 365. I'm Marlena Wolf coming at you from the 502 Louisville, Kentucky area. We are in zone 6B, right on the edge of zone 7. We've got about a 270-day growing window in our area. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about salad growing. We can grow salad a lot of the seasons here. So we could do spring plantings of salad greens and lettuces, and we can do fall plantings. So we can start planting in March. Most salad greens after germination, they take about 30 to 50 days to produce a mature plant where you can start picking. If you want to do the smaller baby salad greens, you can pick at about 30 days. So that you're not picking too deep into the summer because it turns bitter if it gets too hot or if it's in full sun, or it'll start to bolt, which just means it's going to go to seed and it's not going to be yummy anymore. So then again in the fall, around mid-August, we can start transplanting and direct seeding our lettuces, spinaches, whatever you like in your salad around mid-August. Okay, so today, what I like to do and what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna do some snow peas, which is fun. It's not really a lettuce, but we like to pinch the tops and put them in our salad mixes. And of course, if you let the plant grow long enough, you're gonna get yummy, tender, delicate pea pods, which are super yummy. We are going to do my favorite, which are the butterhead lettuces. They're super tender, not real crunchy, but more of a sweeter lettuce. And you want to plant them. You want to make sure that you water your plugs, your roots, your soil plugs before transplanting into the garden. That way they, go in strong. So we're gonna do some of that. I'm gonna do watermelon radishes. I love radishes in my salad, so we're gonna do that today. Some arugula, which is in the broccoli family. It's a little spicy and it's delicious, I feel. I like carrots in my salad, so we're gonna direct sow some of those today. And beets and spinach. That's all. That might seem like a lot, but beet tops are delicious in salads. And, spinaches kind of speak for themselves. So what I like to do to prepare my garden for salad season is clear out any existing materials that are still in the garden. Right now I'm transitioning from summer to fall, so I just plucked and cut at the base my existing tomato plants that were done producing, my cucumbers that were done, my squashes. Yeah, I think that's about it. And I removed the foliage from the soil, and I cultivated it with my favorite Korean style hand plow. I love these things, and they simply just kind of comb the soil just to kind of loosen it up, break it up a little bit, freshen it, soften it, fluffing it up. So that is what I like to do first. And then I'm gonna put down a plant or animal-based fertilizer. So these don't have anything synthetic in them. They're all natural, all organic. So that the plant food is bioavailable to the roots of the plant and to you, so that we all have a healthy immune system. So I've actually already done that. Most of the time you can find out the directions just by looking at the bag. It'll say, 2 tablespoons per plant or per square foot or whatever. So just kind of follow those instructions. I like to fertilize particularly at planting, and then usually 6 or 8 weeks later per recommendations on the bag. Okay, so I remove debris, I cultivate, I put down my fertilizer, and then I make selections on where I want to plant my greens. At this point, I still have Brussels sprouts in the ground. I still have tomatoes trellis. I have a lot of Swiss chard still in the ground, some flowering, pollinating plants, some ground cherries. So what's fun about home gardening is that you can interplant, which means you can have a lot of diversity in your area in a smaller space and just kind of pop things in where there is place for them. And so today I've got room where I used to have a squash plant. I've got room where I had tomatoes, I had arugula here, and I had a green bean patch. And so I am gonna kind of switch things up per family by my memory. So I know that like green beans are in the legume family, so they produce nitrogen in the soil. So I'm not gonna plant another legume there. I'm gonna plant something else that likes nitrogen, like my greens. And then there's spots like where the cucumbers were trellised that I'm actually gonna put the peas, because they're in a different family. And this, like I said, the legume family, which peas are in, will fix nitrogen so that it's gonna add nitrogen to the soil, so that everything stays happy. So yes, and then with regard to spacing, I like to talk about that, because in a small amount of space, you can put, like for a square foot of soil, you can put about 9 lettuce plants, okay? So you can really pack them in there and get a dense planting. You may also just want to broadcast your seed by hand, directly seeding it into the gardens, which there's no spacing at all, which will give you a nice baby salad mix if you prefer that to the heads. I like to do both. I like to, just cut it with a knife when it gets about, 4 or 5 inches big, and have a nice tender mix. Heads are nice too. They do take longer to grow. Like I said, they might be closer to 50 days, and they do take up more space. But either way, you're gonna get something delicious for the home that everybody's gonna love. And I feel that fresh salads from the garden surpass the flavor of any salads that you can find at the grocery store. I am a salad snob. I don't eat bagged salad greens. I can hardly eat them at restaurants. Like, I need them from my garden or the farmer's market. So I wanted to do a little demo here quick today, just to show you kind of how to handle lettuce or plants versus seeds, and just kind of the depth that they need to go into the ground and that sort of thing. So we're gonna be planting right behind me. I've already got my plants ready to go. I've got a whole tray here. I'm not gonna plant all of them. I've already removed about 8 or so that I want to plant into the garden. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got my trowel here that I absolutely love. And it has a depth measurement on it, which you totally don't need. You can do that totally by sight and intuition as to how big the soil plug is on your plant. So we have, like I said, these little guys. They're only about 2 inches. So that's how deep you want to put them, right? You want to put them so that the soil comes right to the base of the plant. You don't want it covering the foliage, and you don't want the soil plug to be hanging out into the hot sun. You want it tucked nicely underneath there, okay? Should we get closer? Get a little closer. And we'll adjust you guys down, and we'll get going. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Woo. So I like to sit my plants where I want them. And so again, you can put about 9 plants per square foot. I might space mine out a little bit more, just because I can. Yeah, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here you can see I've got asparagus here in the background. That's a perennial. It's hard to see, it's so tiny. And then my Swiss chard. So I don't want to really get too close to that. So I'm going to bring these up. Yes, make space. And then we're gonna pop them in the ground, and that's it. So you just want to go straight down, dig out a little spot, and tuck it in. Tuck the soil right around it. I like to press it down. Yes. Now you can expect on these tender bib lettuce types that the outer leaves will probably get damaged somewhere in the process, because they're so stinking tender, okay? In fact, when I harvest these, I don't even chop them up in advance for a salad. I kind of just pluck the leaves whole and put them directly on the salad plate, because they start to like dwindle so fast, but they taste so good. So you just straight down, work your soil up a little, pop your plug in. And for those of you that don't know, gardening in a skirt's awesome. Dirt and skirt, May. Just saying. And sometimes it's nice too when you plant to label your planting so you know what's what, and put a date on there, the date in which you planted, so that you have an idea about when it'll be ready. These are pretty easy to visually see when they're ready because they're edible from plant to, from start to finish, really. But it's really based on the desirable size that you want them to be. So, but it is nice, especially if you're planting from seed. That's when you really want to put down on your calendar or in the garden itself just a little date that says, the day you planted plus the maturation date, which you can always find on the seed packet. It'll say 30 days, 50 days. And that way you'll have an idea about, how quickly they're supposed to germinate, or, when you can expect a harvest. And that'll help you troubleshoot too if you feel like, oh, why is it taking my spinach so long? Has it germinated? Do I need to replant? What's going on? So, with carrots, for example, they're just kind of tricky germinators. And if you get a hard rain, it can create a hard patch of soil on the top, and prevent their little, seedlings from coming through. So anyway, it's good to keep an eye on things. Pay attention to your dates, watch the area, make sure you're not getting any, too much pest pressure on your tender young greens, because let me tell you, rabbits love them. So keep an eye on things, and I appreciate you guys watching today. We'll talk to you soon.